the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
And then we go from there?
then whatever happens next just happens.
Whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. I can't be held responsible. You can't be held responsible.
I want to be held responsible.
Yeah, if you're
Responsibly. I want to be responsibly held.
if you're gonna hold me,
Yes.
be responsible.
I always am.
That's what they've been teaching us in those harassment classes.
That's true. Responsible. No, there's not. We're not supposed to hold each other
At all.
responsible. No,
We can't hold each other
no
anymore.
holding. It's
Oh, that's
not.
right.
It's something that we're not allowed to do anymore. Which is
Stop holding
is
each
going to be a
other.
problem because up until this point, every episode of the podcast, we've been holding each other.
We've been very affectionate. We have. There's been a lot of nuzzling.
They can tell.
There's been a lot of. I feel like I've been putting my that little kind of crease in your shoulder.
Yeah.
I've been relaxing there a little bit. Yeah, and I've been told now.
Yes.
By people who know more things than I do.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You can't.
Not at work.
Not at work. It's not. See, we didn't know how off-putting it was for those around us.
Right.
We were having a great time.
For us, it was fine.
Fantastic. And if anything, I thought it kind of made greater creative content because we were just felt so together.
Some of our best moments happened in the crease.
Absolutely. In the crease.
And now we're not going to have those moments. So I would expect a probably 13-14% quality dip in the show going forward.
That's fair. So listeners, sorry.
Sorry.
You can blame you can blame our
You can blame our training.
Yeah. Harassment classes. I just said harassment.
That's because Colin
said it earlier. Yeah.
Our chief scientist here
Yeah.
is from the United Kingdom, and he's freaking brilliant and awesome, but also British. So he says harassment.
This morning he said harassment, and all day I keep saying it because I want to sound sophisticated.
Yeah.
You know, I want to sound robust with my vocabulary.
You are so much more robust than you were earlier.
Robust is another great
Robust.
word. It's a word to describe a figure, or a coffee, or a cigar, or a whiskey,
And occasionally a wine,
a wine. Yes,
but only if it's a port.
robust.
A robust port.
You never use that word on like average things.
No.
You know, you never.
No,
Yeah, or
that is a robust chair.
Yeah. What a robust pizza we're
Exactly.
like the average common thing you can't throw robust on it.
Right,
It just
exactly.
doesn't fit.
It's like he's got a very robust pencil.
Yes, that's a robust pencil. All right.
Like, well, thank you.
Thank you.
I
I think so.
didn't know that it could be, but it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Noel.
Welcome to the Biofriendly Podcast.
Yes, we're at some point we are going to talk about the environment again.
Yes. Well, but I think that if you're a fan of the show, and you obviously are, because you're here.
Why are you and the millions of others
You and so many people
have grown to expect our big fact that we can't start the show.
Yeah,
properly.
but that's why they're tuning in now.
Yeah.
Because look, we agreed to teach them a little bit.
Just a sniff.
Just a sniff. Just a. That's it. That's all you get. You get a little sniff.
If only we weren't so clogged up in our noses right now from all that harassment training.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's true. So what I do have today is this is actually like, as we talk about it, I don't know much about this, and maybe you do too, but I found this article. Well, first let me ask, do you have, what's your mobile phone? Is it an iPhone?
It's an iPhone, yeah.
It's an iPhone. I have an iPhone also.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of the
healthy percentage
of the people. So this article.
Plus, it helps me. I feel like it's good for my I'm going for a really douchey image.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Nailed it. Get yourself those wireless earbuds.
Yeah.
I call those douche earrings. Yeah, because
I would look great.
I mean,
I would look great with that.
Everybody who loves them, they say they're great, and I believe you. I would love to have them too.
Yeah.
But they look kind of ridiculous when you see people in public walking around with these white things just sticking out of their ears with no cable.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks to me like a little
like you're a robot.
Ooh.
Yeah. I need that to go with my increasingly like this beard. The whole purpose of this beard is to keep up that hipster,
you
just
gotta
solid
do
image
it.
that I'm going for.
Yeah.
So a little bit of that, a little bit of iPhone. Get the earplugs.
Hey, I've never had any other smartphone. Once the iPhone came, I've been with them the whole time.
Right.
Never did the whole flirt with the Samsung Galaxy or the LTE or whatever the other companies were. I've never really gone off brand.
Despite the fact that I have been told and shown that they're better.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes the pictures. Sometimes you're with somebody and they show you a photo and you're like, "What is?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's on my Galaxy." And I'm like, "Holy cow, that's a beautiful looking image." So. But I bring this up. We're both iPhone. I bring it up for a reason. So this article I found, this came out of Stanford researchers.
Ooh.
Flexible, organic, and biodegradable, Stanford researchers developed new wave of electronics.
Really?
Yeah, so this is pretty fascinating stuff. So I'll just read a little bit of the opening. It says, as electronics become increasingly pervasive in our lives, from smartphones to wearable sensors, so too does the ever-rising amount of electronic waste they create, right?
Absolutely.
That's a big problem.
Real quick, though, I'm sorry. Electronic wearable sensors?
We'll get to that. It's coming.
Okay.
I'm warming up to that.
Okay.
Just hang on. We'll get to it. You're like,
Wait.
Are people wearing sensors? Wait. So, where was I? A United Nations Environment Program report found that almost 50 million tons of electronic waste were thrown out in 2017.
Really?
50 million tons.
So that's just like people are done. Their old computer, they don't want it anymore. They don't know what to do with it, so they just toss it.
Yep.
Or like an old phone, or like a printer that's crummy.
Yes.
Things like that.
Yes, exactly. Like all the electronics, we're supposed to take them to e-waste facilities so that they can be, disassembled, and all the parts that are more hazardous could be taken to a factory, recycled, whatnot. But a lot of times people get, they're moving and they're like, I never use this printer or this computer, and they throw it in the dumpster. And
toss it.
Not good.
Wow.
So, but there's a lot of electronic waste, and so troubled by this statistic, Stanford engineer Zhenan Bao and her team.
That's a cool name.
I agree.
Spell that? I'm sorry.
Zhenan.
Okay.
And I think my limited understanding of Asian languages. The Zhenan, I think ZH is like Zhenan Bao. Yeah,
Okay.
Zhen.
That's a great name.
Yeah, I think it is cool.
It is a cool name.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like a star of films. Like
really
this
does.
summer, Zhenan Bao is in,
Hot for tacos.
Hot for tacos. That's our Van Halen cover
That's our
band.
Van Halen cover band.
So her and her team at Stanford, they have been trying to. This is where it gets weird. In their group, they've been trying to mimic the function of human skin and think about how to develop future electronic devices where the electronic device is stretchable and biodegradable. Wow. Right? So that's what kind of...
So your iPhone is made of
human
synthetic skin.
Synthetic skin.
What you're saying? I'm holding on to someone's hand and I'm talking into it.
This is the I, Hannibal Lecter. So yeah, that's what got my attention when I read this. I was like, wait, what? Pardon me?
No way.
And so I had to dig a little bit deeper into the article. And so So basically, she had created a stretchable electrode modeled on human skin. Okay. That material could bend and twist in a way that could allow it to interface with the skin or brain, but it couldn't degrade. That was her first her first pass. Okay. That limited its application for implantable devices. Okay, so this is
that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. Well, and that's the funny thing is we don't think about it, but for people that need to measure blood. Or so for the medical professions, or glucose.
This probably makes it a lot easier for diabetics.
Exactly. So she. Oh, look! It even says Bao said that creating a robust material. Look at that word just popping into that article. You can say robust material.
I'll bet that when he said it, he probably said it in a fantastic British accent.
Bao said that creating a robust material that is both a good electrical conductor and biodegradable was a challenge. Considering traditional polymer chemistry.
Chemistry is a good word.
Yes, polymer chemistry. So she said, we have been trying to think of how we can achieve both great electronic property, but also have the biodegradability. Right. So eventually the team found that by tweaking the chemical structure of the flexible material, it would break apart under mild stressors. We came up with an idea of making these molecules using a special type of chemical linkage that can retain the ability for the electron to smoothly transport along the molecule. This is very dense.
Yeah. Let's
break it down.
Let's de-densify.
Okay. I don't know. Can you? So basically, this is a conductor conducting electricity, but they're wanting it to mimic skin so that it's flexible, but then also it will degrade. So you could pour something as simple on it like vinegar, and it'll
disappear.
It's gone.
Wow.
So this is getting into some pretty, very, very next level ways that we're thinking about technology. We always think of technology and our phones and our computers as this steel, hardware, right? That's how we envision it.
Sure.
But it's interesting because if you watch series like Black Mirror or these things that are looking toward the future, you see episodes where they've got like contact lenses in their eyes and they can see a screen.
Right.
Or there's something on their finger and they touch and all of a sudden a display comes up. So I think that that's where this is headed.
Right. Yeah, life is imitating art.
Right.
Yeah, and that's pretty. That means that's really cool. That's awesome. I mean, it's neat to see things going that way. It freaks me out, which I think is a point, right? I mean, I should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old enough now that these things are supposed to freak me out. I think.
Yeah.
That's where whereas my kids probably look at that and go, yeah, that's about right. That's probably what we need.
Yeah.
So something like that. The thing I want to here's the thing that
you want to get
this
into
brings to my mind.
Okay.
So when you get into the industrial revolution,
Okay.
right? The thought of the time is not what are we doing to the environment? What are we doing to pollute? Or how's the thought is, wow, with this we can create more goods, we can make cities, we can make things more easily, we can improve life quality, things can be so much better. Yeah. And then later, as the results of doing that are revealed, you find out that was pretty hard on the environment, pretty tough to do, right? So we're trying to come up with something that I think conceivably is better for the environment, right? And better for us to work with. But we don't know what that's gonna okay, so
what the fallout of that is.
What will happen? Like, what are we gonna know 40 years from now
that we don't know now? Yeah, it's
Exactly.
true. It's true.
Yeah.
I hadn't even considered that, but I mean that's what people talk about with like the singularity and machines becoming conscious and aware. Like we're talking Terminator scenario, right?
Right.
But you're talking on if you're implanting something in your body, an electrode, a thing like that that's supposed to be attached to you, go internally. There's got to be some things that we just don't know about today that in a few years you go, oh, whoops,
maybe that wasn't good, or maybe it's fine. Maybe it's no big deal, but we don't necessarily always know until we've tried something out. Like we don't know always what the effects are of something. So it's interesting as we go into this new era of synthetics.
Yeah.
Right. Of making things that are more human-like.
Right.
More kind of like. I mean, honestly, it's funny. It's like we're just recreating ourselves.
Yeah. Right.
Eventually we're just trying to make people without having love making.
Yeah.
Sort of. But it's just interesting. I'm just intrigued to see what happens next. And then obviously there must be some thought in this. Like if they're making it biodegradable, the thought is we're trying to make it so that it's better for the environment.
Yeah.
And probably it will be.
That's the point.
I do wonder like what is the next thing? Like what is that result?
I agree.
In, right?
I agree.
Like gigantic lithium ion batteries to power cars. Like you think, well, that's better for the environment, and to some degree, it totally is. But you are making a gigantic lithium bomb that we don't know not bomb, but lithium
something that's
package. We don't know. I mean, that's poison.
Yeah,
right. And
it's not just a Nirvana song.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It's lithium.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's like you look at these things and wonder what will be the result of that, and what is the problem of tomorrow, and how's that go? I may have gone too philosophical.
You've gone too far, and I'm lost. I'm staring at the wall. I tuned you out ages ago.
Yeah. Would you like to rest in my crease?
I would. Yeah. I would like to, but the harassment.
You're right. I shouldn't have invited. That was rude.
Program said that we can't, and now you're just taunting me.
I'm so sorry.
So
it was thoughtless and it was rude. and if you would like me to leave the room right now, I will do that respectfully.
Stay. Don't leave.
All right. I am sorry.
Don't leave. Stay right here.
Don't leave. Don't leave.
No, but so here's the thing that I was thinking as you were talking. I was pretending to pay attention.
Sure. That's usually what happens.
No, what I was going to say is, my point being of its hardware, that's how we think of it.
Yeah.
Well, it stands to reason that we've moved in our lifetime. We have gone from physical media.
Yeah.
That is in air now, right? So like we had albums, we had CDs, we had cassettes, then we had VHS tapes, then we had DVDs, and we had Blu-rays. And now the idea of going out and buying something physically becomes less and less reality. I
can download it.
Yeah,
I need to.
Yeah, I still like a vinyl record from time to time. That's something I enjoy. But for the most part, I have Spotify.
Right.
And if I want to hear an album, I just bring it right up. And I don't have to have the physical media anymore. So it stands to reason that there's still a group of scientists and engineers and people that are like, how do we lessen creating computers and iPhones into actual physical things?
Right.
How can we get it to be a place where it's like, I can do the things that I need to do through something that's on my hand or on my fingertips.
Well, like you mentioned from whichever show that
Black
was
Mirror.
that you were saying with your words.
Yeah. When you were pretending to pay attention to me.
Often I just stare at your eyes.
I get it.
Just get lost.
Hey, the harassment guy is right outside. You are testing the boundaries.
I'm just.
And I love you, boy.
I'm a monster. I can't control myself.
I think when they say that we can't, it just means that we want so much more.
You know what? I never realized
Yeah.
how much passion I felt for you until I couldn't feel that passion anymore.
Exactly.
And
now we
I
have
feel
to.
like I'm 97% passion and 3%.
By the end of this episode, it'll be a
blob of tired.
98.
98.
Strong 98.
I know, it's crazy.
So you were saying
were
Black
we?
Mirror.
Black Mirror, yes. Okay, like you were talking about contacts that
Mm-hmm.
you can see the world. So like at some point, really the issue with computers is that you need something to be able to look at and then interact with.
Yes.
So if you've got what you're looking at on a screen that you can just blink and then it opens and then the computer is virtually in front of your eyes, as big or small as you want it.
Right.
Right. And then you can just use, like you said, something in your
gesture.
hand, or at some point they'll probably connect them to your brain using the synthetic
just
tissue,
go-
and you just think about what you want, and then there it goes.
The world's gonna be so weird. Like our kids are gonna be talking to those young people, and they're gonna be, back in my day, I didn't look at screens on my eyeballs all day long. I held a device in my hand. I used to spend 18 hours on my iPad.
It's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah.
But this is where we're headed, and I think that there will always be goods, there'll always be consumerism that you need to buy something, but it is fascinating to think that there are scientists like Jian Bao who and her team that are developing things that stretch like skin and that are biodegradable and movable, and it's technology, and you just kind of go like, that'll be crazy when you go in and your new phone is just something that you do to your hand, or it's an implant, or it's like, oh, I need to get it updated. It'll be a lot harder to show off. You know what I mean? Like so much of technology is oftentimes kind of show like you joked about earlier.
That's why we grew the beard.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of a status symbol to say like, oh, I've got the fanciest, the best.
Yes.
So it would be interesting to see if you did have these devices, how you'd be able to measure that. I'll be like, oh, that guy's got the gold contact lenses.
Yeah.
And
like they'd have to make them different in order for you to see.
Yeah, you did.
Or they come with a tattoo.
To stand out, exactly. Something that's like, if it's going to be part of the body, there's still got to be something ostentatious and showy.
Yeah.
That the companies will be like, oh, you have to get the deluxe.
Yeah. You've got to get the Potato 7.
Wi-Fi nose ring. Exactly. And it's just like this gigantic like double hoop. Off your nose,
bull style,
and you're looking at somebody across the room, and you're like, oh, that person's got such a strong signal. Look at that Wi-Fi. It's amazing.
You could tell how much signal's in that nose ring.
I feel a connection with that person.
Oh man,
both literally and Wi-Fi-ly.
I want to spend time in his crease.
It all comes back to Into the Crease.
Yeah,
it all comes back to that. So I thought that was fascinating. I don't know. I'm trying to think of I know for years they were talking about making a laptop that you could roll up and fold like paper. Did you ever see any of those videos?
Yeah.
Or there was even this other one. It was where the keyboard was a light that shone down on the table,
and then the sensors tell you where your fingers are on the
exactly.
ground.
So I always thought that was pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So it's interesting. What are some other things I'm trying to think that are technology that we take for example? We have the phone, the computer,
laser eyes contacts.
Laser eye contacts. Well, we need those.
Yeah, those are my favorite.
I got to get that immediately.
My favorite existing.
But
technology.
laser pointer eye contacts. So you're just like a big cat person.
No, they don't burn things.
Yeah.
No.
It's just you get. It's
mostly I use them to annoy people in the auditorium.
Right. And if you go over to somebody's house with cats, you
just open your eyes.
Watch
and
the cats go bananas.
They just go crazy.
And it's like, oh, this is a guy with his laser pointer eye contacts.
Yeah. And then you got to hide them so people don't know. And everyone's looking around for who's got the laser eye pointer contacts.
Right.
Yeah, they'll go crazy.
Right.
And then I laugh and laugh.
Yeah. That's great. That's okay. So laser pointer contacts.
Yeah. Phones. We got most of the basics.
Well, we got it. Yeah. I think that's it. We covered it. I think. Because, faxing, it's not as much of a thing anymore.
No, most of those faxes are part of that e-waste pile.
Oh, man. Can you imagine the mountain of
fax machines?
Yeah. There's
Did you have a thing where maybe I know that with textures you have a hard. Sometimes those are
Yes.
a problem. Is it bad that I just said that on the air? I'm so sorry.
No.
Did
I don't
reveal
mind.
something?
I don't mind.
Okay.
You can out
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
For those listening, I have ever since I was a little kid. Most people, can understand this by the nails on a chalkboard feeling that you get if I touch coarse textured paper like construction paper, paper bags, newspaper that's coarse like that. I would get that same feeling that people get with fingernails on a chalkboard. I would
kind of
I would
up the spine. Just
yes,
uncomfortable.
you're just completely locked up. You feel your mouth dry up. Cotton mouthed and
Yeah, it's awful.
and so now as an adult, it's not as bad. But when I was a kid, it was terrible.
Well, so I'm wondering, like on the flip side of that, right?
Yeah.
Fax paper is so smooth and
Yeah.
so like I used to love holding fax paper. And
Yeah.
my parents had this old fax machine, and I'd feel my fingers on it and be like, "This feels amazing." Did you ever try holding fax paper? And if so, did you get the opposite feeling of just?
I don't think I ever encountered it. So you're gonna have to. You're a mission now.
Yeah.
So you got to track down.
I'm gonna find
some smooth as silk fax paper.
I'm gonna find it. It
And
was this,
I wanna
this
touch
crazy paper. It was like the
wanna
special
touch it.
contact weird paper that fax machines had to have.
Yeah.
I will find fax paper for you.
Yeah.
So that you can
thank you.
hold it.
Thank you.
So you can hold it. Just see what it does to you emotionally.
Oh, touch it while I'm in the crease.
Dang it. I feel like
really-
did we harass each other again?
We've harassed each other too much this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to be good.
I agree. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take the attention off of ourselves.
Okay.
We're going to welcome our special guest for today's episode.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the Biofriendly Hotline, Tara McFatridge. Tara, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Doing
Welcome
great.
to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. It's such an honor and a pleasure to have you around. For those of you who have been listening to the podcast for the last little while, what you may not know is that the editor of the Biofriendly Planet Magazine that you have been the e-magazine that you've probably been reading as you've been checking out the podcast 'cause
Every
that's
day.
part of our network.
Yes.
The editor of that very magazine is one wonderful Tara McFatridge, who we have on our show today. We're very very glad to have you.
Yeah. You guys have worked together for a little while?
Very long time. We kind of got into this environmental shtick together, didn't we, Tara?
Yeah, it's been over a decade now.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, Tara. So when we sort of started this, she really worried about the kind of our biofriendly presence in the environment and being in the Twitter world and all over Facebook and all that kind of good stuff. And she's most famous under her Twitter handle, which is Biofriendly Blog. Does that sound about right, Tara?
Yep.
Yeah, and she's built up quite. In fact, she's kind of a green all-star, to be honest with you.
Hey now.
Yeah.
She's an all-star. Get your game
Get
on.
her game on. Go green.
Go green.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're making me blush.
That's the goal. So Tara, now that we got you, let's start asking you some questions to find out.
Hard-hitting questions.
We're gonna get down
We're
to
going
the
to down nitty-gritty.
People are gonna know the truth.
Expose.
They're gonna know the truth. So Tara, we've kind of gone into a little bit how you got sort of involved in this, but for you, being in what has it been like to be part of this community and to eventually kind of become someone who's really well known in the community?
Well, it's been great to be part of the community because it's such almost like a natural part of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doing things for the environment and doing things to protect the environment and nature. I've got 2 kids of my own, and I want to make sure that they've got a good, healthy planet, not only to enjoy now, but in the future as well.
Totally.
And
And I've always had a soft spot in my heart for nature. I grew up, in the 70s where you came home from school and you played outside until it got dark.
great.
Yeah.
And then you came inside and then, we'd go to the beach on the weekends and I'd spend the entire day in the Pacific Ocean, and then we'd go camping and, everything was outdoors.
You mean you played in the real world? Not the one on the screens.
I know, right?
Unbelievable. This is something that I'm hearing for the first time.
Yeah, this is wild. This is like
right? You can go outside?
I can't believe it. Have you noticed? Speaking of that tangent, have you noticed with your own kids? Because I certainly have that people are like they'll look at you sideways if your kids are going to go outside of the house. Really at all. Like you have to be within arm's length, or people think you're a monster as a parent. Do you see that in your life?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, completely. Yeah, it's such a different reality from when I grew up. I mean, there were no, cell phones, no nothing back then, and I would come home and we had a bridle trail behind our house.
Nice.
Which was, where the stables, the horses would come down and they'd go along the bridle trail, and you could actually head all the way to the ocean from the bridle trail. But we'd be up there with friends playing. We'd be sliding down, drain pipes and climbing trees.
That's great.
Far away from the house, and nobody was keeping an eye on us. We were just, keeping an eye on ourselves and
times
having a
have
good
changed.
time and playing outside.
You just hear, mom scream. That's what we did. She'd be like, time to come home. And then everybody like,
loud whistles. My dad always had the whistle that could be heard like 3 miles away. Yeah. So we heard that loud whistle, and we just be like, uh-oh, like, better hurry back.
Get back before you get in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it is interesting because outdoors and nature, for me too as well, and I'm sure Jacob, you may have found that it was an important part of my childhood as well, and I don't want that to be lost. I don't want that to be gone, because we've overdeveloped all of it, and we've destroyed the air, and we've like ruined the water, and we've just made it so you've got to stay in a bunker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is there any specific topic all of it gets us all fired up. That's why we're in this. But is there one that really you feel really passionate about when you read or hear about it in the news, and you want to write or share articles or progress that's being made? Is there any subject that really, is close to your heart?
Well, there's so many.
Sure.
In actual fact, because, like I said, anything regarding the ocean, because that was one of my favorite pastimes.
Definitely.
From the time we got to the beach, I'd be in the water till the time, my mom would be like, let's go. And have to drag me out at the end of the day. But anything that gets people, I think the key that I like to, enlighten people on is the things they can do on a daily basis to make a difference.
Right.
There's so many simple actions people can take.
They need to get in the ocean like you did.
Yeah.
Feel that plastic, around their bodies and be like, hey, I got to do something. Hold on. I'm floating on a milk carton and I need to clean this up. Right?
Yeah, the only thing we used to have to worry about was seaweed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, all the seaweed now is plastic. Wrapping around your legs.
Yeah, unless it's a jellyfish.
Yeah.
So just avoid the plastic if you can, because it could be a jellyfish about to sting your leg off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, would you say that getting outdoors is kind of your top sort of message or cause or call to, like, the number one call to action for people so that they will understand what we're fighting for?
It is.
Yeah.
Because I think the more they do that, and it can connect with everything, get outdoors so you walk instead of drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get outdoors, you get some fresh air rather than being inside your home, where indoor air pollution is far more concentrated and far more toxic than anything you'll find outside in a lot of places.
Yeah. Totally.
People don't always realize that.
Yeah. The Tara message is, go outside!
Get out of the house, you jerk! God, get out! What are you doing in there?
Go camping. Go for a walk. Go for a hike. Go look at the stars.
Outside.
Just get out. Jeez.
That's great.
Hashtag get out.
Get out. Well, I think there's a movie called that, so we're going to totally be lumped in with that.
Maybe that's what that movie's about. We've already been just,
I've seen the movie, and it's definitely not about going out and enjoying nature. No, it's definitely not the message of Jordan Peele's film. Yeah.
Well, we should have a call. We should have Jordan Peele.
We should get Jordan on the phone to talk about other ways people can get out.
Let's think of some other ways people can get out, Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
My kids, from the time they were little, they gathered or, taught them a respect for nature and for the environment, so they see things, they pick it up, they get their friends to, pick up trash, and, there's recycling, but of course, behind that is all conservation efforts and not, consuming as much.
Sure.
Yeah.
You won't have to recycle or, do all that, that goes back to my grandparents.
Right.
The amount of things that they reused and repurposed.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it was just to save money, but nowadays you kind of have to.
Yeah, and it's good to teach our children at a very young age about the part they can play.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, get out, kids. Yeah, get them, get them out, get them get them to understand, and that makes a lot of sense. You get people into the environment that we're talking about, get them to see what they could be missing, right? And what and how cool it is, because it's true. You get out into it, and you really enjoy it and appreciate it and see what it's about. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and you can even do things like go to take the kids to the park, or go outside to the park yourself. Going for a walk, getting some fresh air. There's all kinds of cleanups you can participate in, beach cleanups. And, where we live, we're a little further away from the beach, so we have river cleanups,
Oh, very cool.
Wait, you're saying I have to do work?
Cleans up these, well, they're supposed to be rivers, but they probably haven't been rivers in I don't know how many years. They're dry riverbeds.
Yeah.
But they get it's amazing how much trash is in them.
Yeah. That's interesting. Hey, so all right, just to switch up the topic here a little bit. What in your experience being in the environmental community, what would you say is the coolest thing? And feel free to brag, but what is the coolest thing that has happened for you or to you, or that you've experienced while being part of this community?
I have two things that immediately come to mind. Of course, being part of Biofriendly.
Nice.
But also the connections that I've made with like-minded individuals.
Okay.
There are so many connections I've made with people who think the same and have, great ideas and want to share their ideas. We've been doing a lot of guest posts on Biofriendly Planet Magazine, and I love hearing and seeing what their viewpoints are and what they're looking at.
It has been such a pleasure and so great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for popping over and taking the time to hang out with us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Tara. We really appreciate it. And you're doing awesome work on the Biofriendly blog and the Biofriendly magazine and Biofriendly Planet. And excited to see what's coming up next for you.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care,
Cool,
Tara.
thanks, Tara. We'll catch up soon.
Talk to you guys soon.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye.
Well, that was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah,
What a great guest.
So cool to have her on. I mean, like,
I agree.
She was featured in that book with like Maya Angelou.
Right. Yes, she was. She was in. It's a book for you listeners. You can go check it out. It's called Global Chorus.
Yeah.
365 voices on the future of the planet.
That's so cool. It's like 365 kind of
Days.
top environmentalists all put together. They each get a day to write, and she was one of them. It's pretty flipping awesome.
I would say that's a
big deal.
robust read.
It's quite. Now that you could use robust.
See, you can use it. You can
See?
say, check out this
you can't
Global
say-
Chorus. 365 voices on the future of the planet. A robust read.
Like, you wouldn't probably say it's a robust paper.
No.
But if
it's a
the
book.
content of it, like, you'd say it's a robust page.
Yes. This is a robust page.
Robust page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool, a lot of the stuff that she was talking about, because really going from where we began with the talk about technology and how we're moving, it's still a good reminder to be like, yeah, but at the end of the day, go outside.
Yeah, get out there.
know?
And even in the future, when this is listened to in the Smithsonian,
Yes, of
as
course.
we all know,
As
it
we
will
all
be,
know.
because we have saved so many of the problems in the environment with our
And our
podcast.
future selves came back to us and Bill and Ted us and told us
the whole thing.
Wild
Which
Starians,
you'll get to
we
meet
did
them
it.
on Bill and Ted Day. You'll get to meet us.
You
We're gonna come
definitely
back
will.
and talk to you about it. But basically, even then, turn off your eyeballs.
Yes, turn off your contact lenses.
Contact lens balls.
And your laser pointer.
And your laser pointer
contact lenses.
contact lens balls.
Yes.
And look at the real world around you, not the digital one in front of you.
Yeah.
Kids, okay, I know it's awesome.
Yeah.
And it is awesome. You've got technology that's just like eyeball blowing.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to hang with your best bud,
Yeah.
lay your head in their crease,
In the crease.
and
And just go for a little walk.
Go for a walk.
Go for a walk in the woods. Get outside.
Get out. Sponsored by Jordan Peele's Get Out. This has been a great episode, and thanks for joining us on the Biofriendly podcast. I am Jacob,
And I am Noel
and we are your beacon of light.
in a gloomy environment.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.